Chuck Schumer made the Senate look like a kangaroo court, dismissing the articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas without even hearing the evidence of the impeachment from the House. We're going to hear in just a moment from Louisiana Congressman Clay Higgins, a member of the House Homeland Security Committee who was in the Senate for the hearing. But the House is presently holding votes, so we're going to be it's going to be a interesting program as we're going to be hearing from House members by phone from the House chamber. But I'm going to first go to Victoria Marshall, the Washington Watch reporter who has been tracking today's impeachment hearing. Victoria, welcome to Washington Watch. Give us the latest from Capitol Hill.
Yeah, Tony, thank you for having me. Well, there was no surprise that the Senate tabled the motions or the articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. I mean, the Senate Democrats own the chamber, and in order to dismiss those articles of impeachment, they just needed a simple majority vote. So that is what happened over the course of the afternoon.
Now, there were several votes that were taken. The Republicans used a lot of parliamentary maneuvers to try to slow the process down, but it appeared the vote was the same every time.
Yeah, I mean, the Senate, all you need is a simple majority to dismiss those motions that Republicans were trying to delay the vote until later in the month or in May, and that simply did not work. I mean, Chuck Schumer was intent on dismissing these articles of impeachment today, and he did so.
No substance was discussed in the process. This was all focused on the procedure?
Yes, exactly. I mean, there was no trial because Chuck Schumer just filed 2 motions to dismiss. So they did not have any kind of evidence that was brought to the floor. There was really no trial at all. It was just good political maneuvering on Chuck Schumer's part.
All right, Victoria, just stand by. I think we have Congressman Higgins coming to us from the. Do we have Congressman Higgins? Okay, we're not. He's headed to the cloakroom. So this effectively, Victoria, does away completely with the articles of impeachment. It's finished business.
Over. Basically, Chuck Schumer, he did not believe that there was enough evidence to impeach Mayorkas because he did not meet the standard that the Constitution sets out for impeachment of high crimes and misdemeanors. So that was his argument in filing these motions. And a lot of Democrats obviously agreed, and even some constitutional scholars on the right as well.
That's interesting. I would think lying to Congress would be considered a pretty serious issue, especially from a secretary of a Department of Homeland Security, almost one of the largest departments in the federal government.
Yes, I know Senator Mike Lee made that argument on the floor earlier today.
All right. Well, stick around, Victoria, because we're going to come back to you regarding the United Nations vote coming up on Friday. Well, this Friday, the 15-member United Nations Security Council is scheduled to vote on a Palestinian request for full United Nations membership. Now, according to reports, diplomats say the draft resolution recommends that the state of Palestine be admitted to membership of the United Nations, effectively recognizing a Palestinian state. Joining me now with more information on this is Washington Watch News reporter Victoria Marshall. Victoria, welcome back.
Thank you for having me again.
All right, so give us kind of the lowdown of what we're expecting on Friday.
Yeah, so the UN Security Council will be holding a vote on Friday on whether or not Palestine should be a full member of the UN. Currently, it is a non-observer, non-member state, and what we expect to happen is the U.S. will veto it, and Palestine will not become a member of the UN. The U.S. does not want that to happen because effectively the resolution would be a recognition of Palestine as a state, and the U.S.'s foreign policy kind of position on this is that both Israel and Palestine should have direct negotiations with a two-state solution to be accomplished, not the UN.
All right. Well, we'll be watching that vote Friday afternoon very closely. Victoria, thanks again for joining us.